So it is December 20th, and we're looking towards the sun. It's behind that cloud bank there. It's not really a bank, it's above the horizon, but nevertheless, that cloud, somewhere in there is the sun, should poke up at a certain point. So we got some quite nice winter solstice sunrise photos this morning. An interesting little alignment with a distant mountain or hill, depending on how you define such things. We call them mountains, but they're not very high. A few hundred feet high, I think. So some would call them a hill. Anyhow, yeah, I'm just heading home, but I saw the sun go into the cloud, and so I'm just sort of waiting for it to reappear. I'm surprised it hasn't reappeared yet, to be honest. And there's more cloud, like it's getting thicker, moving from south to north, so who knows, maybe it won't be possible. Oh, there it is, I think, coming up, yeah, right in the middle. Just going to break through, hopefully, but as you can see, the cloud is getting thicker. So anyway, I just wanted a final shot, shall we say, and I'll let this run, The sun's quite hidden behind the cloud. I think it's worth mentioning here that, you know, the thick cloud, dense cloud, does indeed make it impossible to see the sun. However, the thinner cloud, the sun can shine through. And this is important in terms of being able to observe partial solar eclipses. You know, I had a couple of detractors, you know, trying to tell me that, you know, nobody saw any of the solar eclipses that occurred in Ireland in the 4th millennium BCE, because either it was too cloudy and you couldn't see the sun at all, or if you could see the sun, well, then it was so bright, you know, the partial phase of the sun, that you couldn't see the partial eclipse, which is ridiculous, you know, but that's essentially what they were arguing. So I had to point out to them that, well, actually, thinner cloud will actually make it easier to see the eclipse, because it'll be less glare, it'll be less bright, but you'll still be able to see the sun. And I also pointed out that, you know, when the sun's low on the horizon, you know, if the sun was down there and you had thin cloud, well, very easy to see partial solar eclipse at sunrise. You can view it quite safely, really. It's just like watching another sunrise or sunset. So when the sun's low on the horizon, you know, coming through quite a bit of haze, you can see a partial solar eclipse very nicely. As it gets higher above the horizon, yes, it does indeed get you know, brighter and brighter. However, thin cloud, even relatively thick cloud, just not too thick cloud, actually makes it easier to see the eclipse. So to pretend that over a span of a millennium, or even a span of a few hundred years in the late Neolithic, you know, that nobody saw the partial solar eclipses, the partial phases of total solar eclipses, is just ridiculous, really. And yet, a couple of people who I won't name were trying to make that argument, you know. So I think I thoroughly debunked that. And I just wanted to mention it because you know, we had an instance here of being able to see the sun through, yeah, I'd say thin cloud until the thick cloud moved in. And Anyhow, I'm looking up above and I'm seeing the clouds that are nicely lit up. But right now there is a fairly solid bank of cloud basically making it impossible to see the sun. So I think we're done here. I guess I'll change exposure here a bit. So I was getting a winter solstice sunrise photo earlier, and I took it in alignment with a bunch of different buildings and a hill in the background that had a little point on its peak, which is quite nice. And I'll probably be back tomorrow, but maybe not here. I think I might go to a different location in Montreal to try and get an interesting winter solstice sunrise alignment photo somewhere else.